Well, we have some spicy breaking news updates in the ongoing MAGA civil war, primarily between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, as Musk continues to publicly attack Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill. Not only is the Wall Street Journal reporting that Trump is becoming increasingly furious with Musk's attacks on him, Musk then escalated further by directly calling Trump out by quote tweeting Donald Trump on Twitter and mocking him. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, this is certainly an escalation, and if Donald Trump does not respond directly and publicly in kind, it will further demonstrate that he is indeed intimidated by Musk. So despite the public attacks on Trump's big, beautiful bill, the attacks on Trump himself have been very indirect, right? It is, by extension, by necessity, a call out of Trump because this is Trump's major policy agenda. Trump is trying to see this through. So he and Musk are diametrically opposed. But even Musk has hesitated to basically, put Trump on blast directly. Well, he did now in this tweet. He quote tweeted Donald Trump from 2013. "I can't believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I'm a Republican and I am embarrassed." Elon Musk quote tweets that and says wise words, mocking Trump because Trump's big, beautiful bill does indeed raise the debt ceiling by another $5 trillion, the single biggest debt ceiling increase in the history of the United States that Donald Trump himself is calling for. Okay, so the hypocrisy is on full display, and Elon Musk is calling him out for it. Now, this comes also, as we're learning from the Wall Street Journal, a conservative publication, sister publication of Fox News, that Trump is losing patience with Musk's outbursts over mega bill, and this is prior to what he just tweeted. Billionaires' attacks on Trump's tax bill are fraying his ties with the president. Key points. Tensions rise between Trump and Musk after Musk criticizes the Republican tax and spending bill as a disgusting abomination. Musk was angered by Trump's decision to withdraw Musk's ally's nomination to lead NASA. The White House dismisses Musk's criticism, suggesting he is prioritizing business interests, and we'll get to that in a second as well. So the article says Trump is losing patience with Elon Musk after the billionaire attacked Republicans' sprawling tax and spending bill. Musk is irked about Trump's decision to withdraw the nomination of a key Musk ally to lead the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The result is a fraying relationship between two of the world's most powerful men. A senior White House official said Trump wasn't happy about Musk's decision to lambast his signature legislation, describing the president as confused as to why the Tesla chief executive decided to ratchet up his criticism after working so closely with Trump for 4 months. The official said senior Trump advisors were caught off guard by Musk's latest offensive. The uneasy alliance between the two men was also strained by a recent move by the White House to nix Trump's nominee to run NASA, Jared Isaacman, according to people familiar with the matter. Musk, a close ally of Isaacman, had advocated for him to get the job. The decision infuriated Musk, who complained to associates over the weekend that he had donated hundreds of millions of dollars to help get Trump elected in last year's campaign, only to see Isaacman's nomination pulled, a person with direct knowledge of the matter said. So, again, I want to be clear on this. Musk's motivations are not pure. He is right in the sense that this is fiscally irresponsible, fiscally profligate by conservative standards, and Trump is being a massive hypocrite. That is true. But Musk is also pissed off that he feels he is not getting the influence that he bought with Trump, and that Musk's businesses will be affected as a consequence of Trump rescinding electric vehicle tax credits that were approved under the Biden administration. So there's some selfish motivation here as well. Musk's frustration over the NASA episode made him more willing to aggressively criticize the tax bill, people close to him said. Musk did not respond to a request for comment. In a series of social media posts this week, the billionaire called the tax bill a disgusting abomination, and he threatened to try to oust GOP lawmakers for backing what he called an abhorrent piece of deficit-fueling spending. On Wednesday afternoon, Musk launched another broadside against the legislation, demanding his over 200 million followers on X call senators and House lawmakers to kill the bill. Trump posted on Truth Social, without comment, an image of Musk's departure message from last week. And again, we covered that in a previous video yesterday, that Trump has been unusually timid, unusually muted. I mean, this is a guy who loves to put people on blast on his part, in his party, in other parties as well. Foreign dictators like Kim Jong-un, you may recall during Trump's first administration, before they became best friends and pen pals, Trump was openly taunting the North Korean dictator, calling him Rocket Man, daring him to attack the United States, and yet he hesitates with Musk. Interesting. Trump and Musk have often praised each other in public, with Trump organizing a fawning send-off for the billionaire in the Oval Office last week as he wrapped up his work leading the Department of Government Efficiency. But the chumminess has masked flashes of skepticism and frustration from Trump and his aides in recent months, as Musk has criticized Trump's trade agenda and clashed with his advisors. Asked whether Trump and Musk can continue to have a strong relationship, a White House official said it was too soon to tell. The official said that Trump could be forgiving, but that he doesn't forget slights like this. Even before the billionaires ramped up attacks on the tax bill, some Trump allies worried that Musk would feel more free to criticize the administration after he left the White House. Some administration officials encouraged lawmakers on Capitol Hill to post positive social media posts thanking Musk for his service out of hope such praise could avoid future confrontations, according to people familiar with the effort. So again, this just goes to show how thin-skinned and malignantly narcissistic both Trump and Musk are. Such that they're like, listen, the best way to avoid any sort of outburst is to just post nice things about this guy. I mean, it's so alarming that these two wildly immature, thin-skinned, malignant narcissists wield such power. Musk has long harbored frustrations with the tax bill, raising concerns about provisions in the legislation that repeal tax credits for electric vehicles, people close to him said. Musk's car company, Tesla, is one of the world's largest manufacturers of electric vehicles. He's also founder of SpaceX, which has government contracts with NASA. Isaacman has ties to SpaceX, including flying on the company's first private flight to orbit. White House officials privately dismissed Musk's criticism, arguing that he was focused on business interests rather than the public interest, which is hilarious because you could effortlessly levy that charge at Donald Trump himself, much more concerned about his private, personal enrichment than the well-being of the American people. Let's see. After Trump withdrew the NASA nomination, Musk defended Isaacman in a post on X. Quote, "It's rare to find someone so competent and so good-hearted," Musk said. Isaacman has told associates he believed Musk's departure gave the administration an opening to oust him, according to people familiar with the matter. White House officials disputed the move, that the move was aimed at removing a Musk ally from the administration, arguing that it instead stemmed from Isaacman's past donations to Democrats. Isaacman noted in a recent podcast interview that White House officials had been aware of the donations for months. Musk's moves have further complicated Republicans' narrow path to the passage of the mega bill, which includes tax cuts and border spending, partially offset by trims to Medicaid, clean energy tax credits, and food aid. Musk's tweets re-energized the spending hawks in the Republican Party, but it wasn't clear, if it would shift the needle given Trump's strong backing of the current package. The House passed the bill last month, and now the Senate is expected to make changes, which would then only need to be approved by the House again before heading to Trump's desk by a self-imposed July 4th deadline. Quote, "This is Donald Trump's signature achievement. This is important to him. Members had better think 3 or 4 times before they decide to get in the way of this victory," said Representative Dusty Johnson, chair of the GOP Main Street Caucus. And it goes on like this. It goes back into, the history between Musk and Johnson and everybody else. And again, I will remind you, this is a tricky situation because Musk has previously demonstrated the ability to get out over his skis ahead of Trump and kill a Trump-backed continuing resolution package under President Biden. Donald Trump wanted it passed because, he was worried that he would have to deal with government funding on his term, and he didn't want to spend political capital dealing with that. So he backed the bill initially, and then Elon Musk opposed it publicly, and then Donald Trump had to change his tune. And because of Musk's pressure, Musk was able to convince Republicans to kill that, continuing resolution. And he actually got the concessions he demanded from House Republicans, and Donald Trump did not. So there have been times where Elon was briefly able to flex more muscle within the Republican Party than even Trump himself, which might explain why Trump is so hesitant to call Musk out, because even if they're not necessarily equals, Musk does represent a true threat to Donald Trump and Donald Trump's political project. Now, I also mentioned that the article talks about, Musk's motivations, which are not altruistic. I mean, he's right on the fiscal profligacy of this GOP bill, but of course he has selfish incentives as well. But Thomas Massie, a Republican congressman from Kentucky who opposed the big beautiful bill in the House, he has jumped to Musk's defense. He says, "It's insincere for Speaker Johnson to insinuate Elon Musk is against the big beautiful bill because it doesn't benefit his company specifically. Musk is a true America First entrepreneur who could have had much more comfortable existence and a higher net worth by sitting out the sidelines of politics, but he cares about this country, so he got involved. He knows if America collapses financially, we aren't making it to Mars." He's right. When he helped cut government waste as he watched his dealerships get firebombed, he stood for free speech by sponsoring a social media platform, and in return, the Biden administration brought half a dozen bogus cases against him. He provided the rural broadband that politicians continually prevailed to provide with endless taxpayer boondoggles. He revolutionized automobiles after conventional car manufacturers got bailed out for their failures, and he gave our astronauts a way to the space station without hitching a ride on Russian rockets. For the sake of our country, I hope he will stay engaged in politics. If he doesn't, I don't blame him, but I'll be here in D.C. trying to keep politicians of both parties from stopping the amazing human progress that he and his engineers have enabled and will enable. So that's very clever of Thomas Massie working overtime to try to prop up Elon Musk as a very powerful ally against the fiscal profligacy of the Trump administration. For my purposes, there are no heroes here. These are two monsters in a classic monster movie. This is Dracula versus the Wolfman. This is the Mummy versus Frankenstein's monster. There are no heroes here. They all suck, and I think we should continue to stir the pot. And when one looks like it's overpowering the other, I think we should do our part to, help the underdog out and to rebalance the scales. And we should try to drag this out as long as possible, because a divided Republican Party is better for the American people. A unified Republican Party can do a lot more damage to the American people, including their own constituents, much more easily than they can when they're a house divided. Some other things I guess I'll say here. Guess we'll wrap this up. Let's see here. Just 6 months ago, Musk's barrage of social media posts triggered a mutiny of Republicans to kill a government spending bill right before Christmas, forcing hasty rewrites by Mike Johnson. But that doesn't appear to be happening in this case, at least not yet. Trump and GOP leaders have stuck it with their plan, subject to some adjustments, while cognizant of the difficult math it means that a handful of Republican defectors in the House or the Senate could sink the bill, given united Democratic opposition. Johnson said Wednesday he was blindsided by Musk's criticism. He said he spoke to Musk on Monday and walked him through the savings, policy prescriptions, and tax revenue that Republicans argue the bill will bring. And then he said that he tried to call Musk and Musk didn't answer, and Musk is indeed ghosting him. So I love it. I love it. More infighting, please. It's, again, good for the American people. And again, I just want to say this is an escalation. It is an escalation that Elon Musk is now directly targeting Donald Trump, using Donald Trump's own words against him, publicly calling him out, putting him on blast in a way that, as at the time of this recording, Trump has hesitated to do with Musk. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how long it lasts. But in the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.